The school continues. Don't worry, I told the marshal about your problem. Even though your strength is good, loyalty is not high. If you join the region, it's going to be a destabilizing factor. The most important thing is this. As long as you don't show up to good, he won't hold you back. I have a little peace of mind, that's good. Two people are talking, and if the waiter rings the doorbell. Master Li, someone is looking for you. The enemy of the Black Panther. The school brought him here. Zhang Yi heard this guy frown slightly. The enemy's attitude towards him, it hasn't been good so far. There's a kind of gratuitous aversion. The police don't like that person either. Curious as to why he came here. Members of our team often come here for drinks. Even if you know. Members of the frontline investigation team like us. They're all one-legged people who have entered the demon pantheon. So in your free time will enjoy drop GA. The epidemic said casually. But I don't want to see him. The school district attorney remembered that he patted his forehead right. He always aimed at you. But now I'm the captain of the Black Cell. Not to make you, and the members of his team, discord. There's something I have to explain to you. It's about the enemy. Leaning against the sofa, waiting for his explanation. Before, the enemy Korn is not a member of the Blizzard. He was picked up by the military. On a mission. When he was about to die, the soldiers saved him. And also during that time, he had accidentally awakened his psychic powers. Since then, the enemy has always followed the army. In the eyes of the enemy, soldiers are the ones who saved his life. He was also his guide on the road. Heterosexual. To be exact, it's like a father. Foolish enemy to you. It's not aimed at you personally. It's any AI that can replace it. Position of captain, he's all like that. Because of the captain's obsession, he could be killed at any time. While recruiting new members, based on a retired former member base. When the captain show respect for you, it also means that he realized that I can't live much longer. The enemy cannot accept this. This is a kind of psychological bigotry. Maybe he thinks, before finding a new member, the captain will not die. Expand translation. Listen to the explanation of the school. I just feel a little confused inside. Turns out I'm the one with the flying ears in the wind. Haha, he laughed for an hour. Seems a little helpless, but it can't really be measured. To such a young man he said, General, as long as he doesn't mess with me. How he thinks about me is his problem. The school said again, I thought you two could talk more. Maybe you'll see that. He's actually a pretty good guy. It's just that sometimes the mind is a little too simple. Deputy Chief of Staff order for service staff, lead the enemy in. Open the door. Soon the enemy came in. He was wearing a simple suit. He looks like a rebellious teenager. It's just that his black hair is now gray. This is the legacy after the battle against the unknown. When you see Trong Yi, his eyes did not show any surprise. On the contrary, his eyes were shining. I've guessed that. You will definitely go to the captain. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Listen to this Trong Yip and the Chief Justice. They all feel like something's wrong. Hurry up and stand up. The main goal of the championship is to target Zhang Yi. The police officer hurriedly asked the corn, "What are you going to do?" "You must understand that the death of the captain, not much to do with the flu. Even more without him. Maybe we've paid with our lives in the open sea." Then, Zhang Yi's gaze did not leave the Wu enemy, in case this guy suddenly strikes him. The enemy replied in indignation. "Who said that? The captain's death had nothing to do with him. If he hadn't instigated the captain, use amber tape, the captain could live for a few more months. During the time period, at least he can go home. The last time I saw my wife for a while, this happiness has been taken away from him. The epidemic is not against." He admitted that in this, the only thing he didn't do right, it's not good for the military. But he also gave up the main Lao in the sky. Give the army to make up for it. Make his family. Don't worry about rice and money. In the next half of life, it's also a fair sale. But for the enemy Wu and the chief Li, with the others, the epidemic did not feel any unease. They, like Zhang, are the beneficiaries. He said to the enemy, "If you come here to cause trouble, I am not interested in serving you." Zhang Yi got up from the sofa. "I want to go back to the apartment to rest." The enemy suddenly gave out his hand. "Block in front of punishment. I waited so hard to see you today. I won't let you go easily." Zhang Yi looked at the arm blocking his way and asked Wu the enemy, "Do you want to work with me?" The school is also eager. How strong is Zhang Ji's current strength? Even. He doesn't know either. Don't provoke your enemies. Captain volunteered to use the amber tape. This can't be translated. The enemy laughed defiantly. "I know, but when I think of him dying in the sky, I feel uncommitted. Spread before death." The old man always said, he admires your abilities. And deliberately pull you in, become a member of us. That's why I always wanted to mess with you. Let's see how strong your power can be. Never had a chance before, but now we're all free. So I have to fight you. If you listen to this, you are powerless. When you know that, the cause of death of the military, mainly not because of me. Why did you come to me to fight? I just want to prove that I am stronger than you, more worthy of the expectations of the old man. The school is in a cold sweat. Don't provoke your enemies. Now you are not his opponent at all. But the enemy grinned. You have to fight a battle to find out. He looked at Zhang Yi next to him. I have known your power since I was in the sky. Of course, you've known about my abilities. So the fight between the two of us is very fair. The enemy of aesthetics. They will not reveal their true power. In the snowstorm. At most, it just shows the level, before absorbing the power of Ra, not fake. That's why he said confidently, use your previous power. To fight with me is okay. Trong asked, what does a battle like this mean? I think not, Ra. I have any reason to fight you. Zhang Yi will only fight for his survival. He's not a woodworker. Just because of our insistence on winning, I want to fight in a snowstorm. It doesn't fit his working style. The enemy smiled and looked at Zhang Yi. There's no reason. Just because this place is a blizzard, my grave. When the opponent requests a duel, we'll take advantage of the indigenous people. It's causing you trouble. In the voice of the enemy lies a part of the threat. He firmly grasped Zhang Yi's personality. I don't want to cause trouble in the snowstorm. Zhang Yi's eyes looked ferociously at Wu's enemies. You're playing with that fire. The school district attorney also voiced the corn. Don't be excessive. The enemy is determined. Captain Li. Even though you are the captain, but only when doing the job. You can manage. I have to do this. If not, I will always carry a thought in my heart. So please don't take care of me today. He asked Zhang Yi again. Then, do you accept my request for a duel? Squint your eyes. He can feel the madness and burn in the eyes of the enemy. This guy is a psychopath. If I don't accept this match today, champions don't know what to do. Trong Yi finally decided. Okay, if you want to play, I will play with you. The surgeon raised a finger. But the power is not in your hands. Let me make a condition. At least we need a little spice. For this match, unwilling to fight for nothing. But it is not impossible to teach those who do not know. The sky is wide, there's a lesson. Agree to fight. The enemy seemed excited. Do you agree? Ha ha ha, yes. So when it comes to betting, what do you want to bet on? Zhang Yi thought for a moment. The enemy said I only like weapons and equipment. Science and technology in Jiangnan developed so. Probably in terms of equipment, there are also outstanding advantages. In the heart, the movement has a deeper purpose. His purpose when he came here is to bring 6 revelation along. As long as there is a model equipped with extreme products, it is possible it can be copied. That's what you want a weapon for. It's okay. But for mutants like you and me, weapons or outside things, it doesn't make much sense. Li's school bar powerless cover forehead. The real champion doesn't know anything about weapons. In the snowstorm, many weapons are highly secure. And he revealed it. He was worried about going to the warning. 2 people, calm down. A simple test is not good. But don't move your hands and feet. Otherwise, we won't be able to sit still. What about the bets? Do you have a weapon? Forget the guns. Cold weapons can give you something. A bit of a shock, the cold weapon. And I thought cold weapons don't work for me. He is best at using a gun. Cold weapons are only used when the body is new. It hasn't been used many times yet. Even Long Min is made of precious metals. Every time the fighting gets tough, he also gave it for use. The school teacher hurriedly smiled and said, Don't worry, we won't fool you. In the Black Cell's arsenal, we have a lot of delicious food. For example, weapons made of adamantium metal. Have you heard of it too? Adamantium metal. You're too familiar with this material. Long Min's salary approvals also use this material. It is a pity that according to 6 Revelation, this material is extremely rare. Normal people can't get it. Zheng did not reject him. I quite like to use the knife. The bar has opened a screen. Floating transparent in front of the exhibition. On the screen, there are pictures of each weapon. The school bag put the wiggle on the screen. All kinds of weapons immediately appeared in front of the exhibition. The weapons that we're used to. They're all made of adamantium metal. This is a standard-built weapon, dedicated to the investigation team. You can choose one you like. There's no need to bet. As if I gave it to you. Not too dependent on weapons, of course. In the black team, only the chief of staff really needs equipment. He knows that, the current strength of the enemy, you can't beat Zhang Yi. He doesn't want to strain the relationship between the two of you, so we opened the goodbye. I saw a lot of metal weapons. In my heart, I can't help but be shocked. Long Min of salary it was originally from a high-ranking lady in Beijing. She was especially blessed for protecting her. This weapon is extremely rare. But in a group of Jiangnan fighters, metal adamantium weapons became popular again. The school continues. Don't say anything about rewards. I can give it to you. This is one of the chief's privileges. The police don't want no reason. The love of others, he said. No need. As I said, you have to use force to get it. He came looking for among the many weapons. Very quickly, the epidemic found a purge. Inside, it's a pen-shaped blade, about 1 meter long. It is much shorter than Long Min's. The back is a bit thick. It's probably modeled on the shape of the time horizon. But with the breadth of modern technology. He's not a mutant, relying entirely on weapons to fight. The power is also slightly weaker than mutants, the human and the animal systems. Choose a more suitable knife for close quarters combat. This would suit him better. He pointed to the sword and told me to choose it. After Zhang Yi confirmed it, Chun Qing smiling reclaimed images of weapons. He advised this time to fight. I hope you two don't fight too hard. When necessary, we will intervene. Don't you worry, Captain, I understand. You just have to beat him. It won't hurt his life. The doctor also said that I too. It's just where we're going to fight. The school looks at 2 people. This duel is unstoppable. I have to try. To the dueling process, it's as peaceful as possible. He said there was a captain in the snow. It's used for resistance training. Only there, they are legally allowed to duel. We'll be there. Okay, let's go over there. The enemy grinned, his eyes filled with strategy. The enemy and Zhang Yi were determined to fight, to untie the knot. The police chief is out of his way. They left the cryptographic bar to a dedicated training location for soldiers of the region. This place is in the Combat Command Center. Even at night, the lights are still on. There are elite soldiers on guard. The Great Wall led Zhang Yi inside, without any hindrance. Zhang also observes everything around him, on the way. His feeling about this place is a bit surreal, and it's quite defensive. He thought silently, I don't know, what materials do we use to build this field? Is not equal to calling 6 likely to see SAO. The height of the first floor alone is over 10 meters. People standing here, I can clearly feel my smallness. Suddenly, he told the school, Can I call my friend? The school teacher looked at him. You don't even trust us. Shaking your head is not that. It's only if we get hurt. I need my own doctor to help me. The police officer looked at him calmly. This place has its own doctor. More. He looked at the enemy and did not finish. With the power of Wu's enemies, Could he be hurt? The translation said, I just want to let my doctor treat me. Buckley, the school understood Zhang's anxiety. Okay, you can call your friends here. We'll give them a passport. Nod your head. Then call the browser and others come here. Child ability. Bring 6 possibilities and browse to the arena with work. His most important goal is to bring 6 revelations here. Let her use her divine manipulation to analyze the material in this place. He could later also strengthen his shelter. Talking on the phone and asking the enemy, do you want to get ready? However, the enemy laughed confidently. I hope you can do your best on the field. The 2 of you can agree. He drank water and looked at the enemy. If we can do our best to respond, you're not going to provoke me here. That's really smart. Not long after, 6 revelation and others have arrived. You called us here. For the first time, they were curious to look around, feeling overwhelmed in front of this majestic structure. 6 revelation and others come here. They rushed to ask what was wrong with Zhang Yi. Speak to your people. Let's go over there. I have something to tell you. The enemy looked at Zhang Yi's group curiously. What do they want to do? A simple translation. He had to fight the enemy. People's faces became very strange. The enemy wants to fight you. He can't help but be a little cocky. From Fat glancing at Wu, the enemy said small. The enemy wants to meet the SAO military soon. Smiling, this guy is not stupid. He's very smart. He knows that, in a snowstorm, we can't use all our power. If not in other places, try to see if he can challenge me. Out of the blizzard. He even provoked me like that. They will see suffering. 6 likely to immediately frown. A little hate to say it's mean. The king doesn't understand either. What does he mean by that? Even if I don't fight you like that, winning is not glorious. Explain the translation. He just wants to prove that he's stronger than me. When we were at the Battle of Tianhai City. Some people are like that. I always want to find comfort in my soul. This is his obsession. There may also be hidden love. In short, we have to defeat him, without revealing your true strength. He understood the power of the enemy. But you have to say it again. In addition to his new ability, the champion also understands his abilities. Keep your head up and look 6. It startled you. I saw. I thought I was just here to watch. I didn't expect a mission. Of course, it's hard to get inside the combat command center. Take this opportunity, be more exposed, with the materials here. You know what I mean. She still excitedly nods yes. Ensure the completion of the task. After having the ability, what she's most interested in doing is researching new materials to build new weapons and equipment machinery. While everyone's talking about the case, the manager also pays attention to them. He pulled the enemy aside anxiously. Currently, Zhang's strength not only did not weaken, but also increased. It can also withstand the attack of the enemy. Not fake. Can you really beat him? The enemy's eyes lit up. It's like no more arrogance. He replied, I understand, but the leader. I already knew his ability in that battle. His main advantage is defense, not attack. If not, not too weak in combat experience. It's not going to be easy for him to defeat. My father always told me when I was alive that strong or weak in ability doesn't decide everything. The key is here. He pointed his hand at his head. I've figured out how to beat him. The corner of his mouth, the enemy smiled triumphantly. At least this time. I have to beat him once. Otherwise, we will not be committed for the rest of our lives. What he desires most is recognized by the armed forces. Even when the soldiers are dead. As long as he wins the war. People who are expected by the military are in their hearts. He will also feel satisfied. Moreover, he knows that the campaign will not use its full force here. Anyway, just winning is enough. Natural time geography people fire. People who take advantage of the terrain. He is also an excellent warrior. I hope that's the case with a long sigh. He also found the enemy's analysis reasonable. When fighting someone who's defenseless, max level as strong duck as long as you don't waste your energy on him. There won't be too much danger. Translation, on the other hand, they don't use their killing power. It's extremely scary. When in Jiangnam, he told the enemy, I'm going to change my clothes. You exercise. Warm up. The enemy can't hide it. Confidence is about to spill out. Answer. Don't worry. The police chief went to the hospital. Laugh and tell him, come on, I'll take you to change clothes first. Trong asked. Duels also have to change clothes later. Of course. The Attorney General laughed. Dueling at the training ground. Everyone has to wear training clothes. This can provide great protection for the body. Not injured. Just finished the translation. I saw the enemy Korn in a black waxed-up suit. Come out of the dressing room. Translate agree. Let's go over there. To be translated by the chief. Led to the dressing room. A row of cabinets next to the wall. The police chief approached. And use your authority. Use fingerprint scanner. Identification. Take out a workout uniform. Then give it to Zhang. He received his first uniform. He carefully checked the uniform. See if there's anything unusual. The material of this outfit is quite special. Heavier weight, compared to the usual tight-fitting suits, and the thickness is also more than normal fabrics. They're made of a special material. High technology application. I walked into the dressing room thinking, if we put it on, maybe they'll record our personal data. Fortunately, we're not super mutants. I've only collected 10 of our fitness data. It's not cool. What about getting 10 pieces of information about our superpowers? We will retain power. That's probably okay. Although SAO is the Jiangnam area database, there's certainly also statistics about basic abilities. His. And his only secret. That's how he woke up to the fight. After absorption of the original of no stomach. He can't show that ability here. Show it to anyone. Because that's his killer. Take off the clothes you are wearing. Put on a tight suit. This suit is quite interesting. No zippers or similar designs. After wearing it, just press the button on the right arm. Tight-fitting suits will automatically snug into the body. After wearing it, the fluid doesn't feel uncomfortable at all. He moved his body a little and felt a strange stream of sensations. His body seems to be more flexible, and the powers increased a little bit. Amazing translation chapter says, even this workout suit is so effective. How is this dress made? He walked out of the room. The police chief is waiting outside. Chong Yi was curious and Bok Li Chang laughed. This workout uniform, it's actually made of the same material, with the uniform of our investigative team. Every time you go out on a mission, we often wear an integrated combat suit. Inside, it can enhance our overall fitness. Even if you say no flowers, even a normal person, wearing also achieves the physique of a mutant. The most basic alpha level enhancement system. What move? I was amazed to see the training uniform on me. I feel. And there's this magic suit. Biography of the bar. He recognized Zhang's interest. He reminded me that this training uniform is precious. In the blizzard, it's just soldiers and 6 investigation teams. It has the right to use it. If you like, then maybe we should consider joining our Black Panther squad. The answer is still no. The police chief didn't force him. Let's go to the martial arts arena. Speak in no hurry. We'll send the satellite phone. Let them store it for a while. Politburo bar, given that the campaign doesn't trust the retention mechanism here. So just put the satellite phone away. That's very careful. I don't mind if you need here. Details of the decision to fail. He said one thing, there are many layers of meaning. The Assistant Attorney General doesn't see the point. In his words, he went out with Zhang. The champion is waiting in the middle of the field. He crossed his arms and closed his eyes. Adjust yourself to the best state. Translation field reminder bar. The translation clearly remembers what I said. Talk to the school bar. I'll give the phone to your partner. School bar nod. After Zhang moved away, he glanced at Trong Yip, thinking silently. You are right, is not trusting the preservation mechanisms of blizzards. Our city. To move forward, give satellite phone for 6 revelation. Maybe you can hold this for me. I should out with 6 possibilities. 6 likely to understand. She touched the uniform with her hand, training on Zhang's arm. Let us talk to you a few times. Extend the time a little. Until the 6 revelation analysis is complete. The material structure of the uniform. The new movement back towards the martial arts arena. Before Zhang Yi left, 6, and he did not forget to tell him to avoid people being suspicious. Try it. The school did not forget to remind Trong Yi. When you get to the stop is over. He's very worried that the epidemic is going too far. At that time, if you use Goddess Grace, it could kill the enemy immediately. Even a physically strong person like him. I'm not sure that I can survive a blow like that. Don't say Kai is the weak arm of Wu Kier's enemy. Waving your hands, signal for the school district not to worry. He's going down the aisle to the martial arts arena. The school said 6, of course. Zhu Lin and the others were on the 2nd floor. To observe. The whole martial arts arena. It's about half a football field, and it's the same shape as a football field, or the zoo of ancient Rome. On the outside are tall buildings. You can see the fighting in the yard. Standing a few 10 meters away from the enemy, he looked at the surrounding space. This place seems a little small, not enough space to build. Battles between high-level mutants will often cause widespread destruction. Clearly, this small space is not enough. Wu enemy looked at Zhang Yi's expression and said, "Oh, you don't have to worry about that." Zhang Yi couldn't say anything. I saw the enemy snap a finger. The entire scene in front of him was suddenly pulled away. The enemy was 10 meters away. Suddenly run a few 100 meters away. And the martial arts field is only half that football field. It's also changed to 10 kilometers in size. Square. I was a little stunned and immediately understood. This is the space system capability. This is the first time he sees someone with other space system abilities. Apart from him. It's not just the space in front of you. The plague became larger. At the observatory in front of the sixth revelation. And so did Zhu Hai and others. More precisely, the scene in front of you doesn't have to be huge. That makes everything around you shrink. Zhu Kai Ni could not help but be surprised to say. To act martial arts to make Sao suddenly turn big. The school explained to them. This is the ability of a martial arts court manager. This ability is called martial arts. It's a very functional space system capability. At this time in the hands of the enemy Zhang and Wu, it's a mechanical voice with no emotion. The fight begins. When the battle begins, no one noticed that, except for Zhu Hai and others. There's actually other spectators at the scene. Only members of the investigation team and officers Yin Van, they are eligible to use. Battles like this. It doesn't happen often in snowstorms. When the martial arts court is required to use, it will attract a lot of people here to see it. Leader of the Angel Squad, Deng, is currently on the 3rd floor. Look at the two people on the field in an interesting way. He's also curious about the translation. Behind him, 2 members of the Angel Squad are following Theo. A strong man with a beard. And a man in a black shirt with a slutty appearance. Let the gods smile and say, if he can really defeat the enemy, give him a chance. Let him, as a reserve member of the Angel Squad. It's not impossible. Some members of the Black Panther Squad also came here in turn. It's very rare to have a fight like this. Of course, they won't miss it. Today, the General Command of Jiangnan. He also appeared in the ring. He's sitting in a private audience on the 5th floor. On the sofa to his right. I'm sitting here as Minister of Warfare. On his left is the Secretary of the new city. In the back is the bodyguard. The nerve in front of you turns into a big screen. And this screen is divided into more than 10 cells. Watch 2 people on the field from every angle. All of the snow is still in the city. At least half. It's a simple duel. That can get so much attention. It's a little unusual. Now the battle has begun. The distance between the 2 sides is hundreds of meters, but both are long-range attacks. So this distance isn't a big deal. Take out 2 white arrows with 2 hands. Aim straight at the enemy and say it out loud. Precision sniper rifle.